Hey guys, it's Ben. It's Friday now. Raining. Well, it's like on and off raining right now, so I look like hell. But I got in 90% of my videos, I think I look like hell. Um, so yeah. Was trying to think a little bit more about Disney examples of beating a dead horse. Well, not okay. Maybe that was bad phrasing. Disney examples of just the decline in overall content and more of the overdoing it on spectacle, on the flashiness. I was talking about Kingdom Hearts, which is kind of like I consider it kind of the meat and potatoes of Disney media right now, mainly because of the fact that after they did Kingdom Hearts, it seems like a lot of the Disney stuff that they do that's a little fantastical seems to take a little bit of its cues off of Kingdom Hearts. That kind of segues me into so a few months ago, actually I think it's been over a year, probably. Maybe, no, it's been longer than a year. Oh God. Oh geez. It's been a long time. But I was watching, me and my best friend, we love to I was saying yesterday, we love to make fun of the Disney Channel. Because it's ripe for parody, because it almost parodies itself. I consider that in the same vein as Walker Texas Ranger. I don't know how many of y'all watched Walker Texas Ranger in the past, but I love to watch bad TV. It's one of my things. I love the worse it is, like the more seriously it takes itself and the more god awful it is, the better for me, because that is just, it's the best. My best friend and I, we wrote a pilot for sort of a satire series, and we're hoping to crowdfund that eventually. I wanted to get Outlaw Nights out of the way, well, not out of the way. I wanted to get Outlaw Nights launched first. Outlaw Nights, it's more feasible right now, and it's an idea that I've had in the works way longer than I've had this satire web series idea. So the satire web series is just kind of on hold for right now, but I do intend on launching that eventually. It's going to be called Governing Guns, and it's a satire on shows like Walker Texas Ranger. But so anyway, long tangent, but we're coming back around. So my friend and I, we were watching the Disney Channel to make fun of stuff, and we came across this Disney Channel movie that has become very popular outside of the Disney Channel movie for kids, and you've heard of it. It's called Descendants. I laughed my butt off throughout the entire first Descendants movie, for the most part. I think at the very end of it, I was just so done with the awful animation and the terrible one-dimensional writing, which it's like, I'm sorry, like the whole "this is only for kids" excuse only gets you so far, because kids aren't stupid. Like, that's what drives me crazy about it. It's like you're basically telling us, like, okay, like we know this is bad, but kids are so gullible and so new to things that we'll make them think that our crap is good. You know what I mean? It's like, we'll sell them a big thing, a big turd, and we'll tell them it's a Freezy Pop, and And it's like, okay, well, now they think that's what Freezy Pops tastes like. So there's the little logic string for that mess. But anyway, eventually I watched Descendants 2, and I was pleasantly surprised by Descendants 2, because I went into this wholeheartedly out of satire. I was gonna make fun of this thing till the cows come home, and I was surprised because it was actually pretty good for a kids movie. I think a lot of it was due to Kenny Ortega. He directed a lot of Michael Jackson's stuff, and he directed the second Descendants. Well, actually, no, he directed all of them. Okay, so never mind. That little theory's out the window. But the second one, though, like, I felt like the songs and the choreography and everything, and even the story itself, like, it had more meat to it. It was better. It wasn't, I wouldn't call it a good story, but it was better than what they put out before that. And then Descendants 3 recently came out, and I saw that on TV. And oh God, where to begin with that? I mean, first of all, they were really trying to ham-fist this whole debate about a border wall. They were trying to shove that into this kid's property, and they were doing it in the dumbest manner possible. Because the big moral of the movie, this is technically a spoiler, but I mean, who's gonna watch it? You know, so anyway, the big resolution of the movie is that their whole thing is like, well, it's not fair that the Disney villains are all confined to this prison island and all that, because they all have kids. So we're just gonna knock down the barriers, and we're gonna open that prison up, and everybody's gonna be a citizen now of this fantasy country they created, which is basically just America with a king. You know, how original. Oh, and lest we forget the oh so creative naming strategy of Disney's Descendants, which was you know, they basically took the names of the villains that they are the children of, and just kind of shortened it. Like the main character, her name is Mal, and she is the daughter of Maleficent. Get it? Get it? They just shortened it. Makes it seem, oh, it's trendy, it's cool. Ooh. Maleficent with a cell phone. Fuck yeah. Like, come on. But that was just like, the ending of the third Descendants was like, well, you guys aren't going to be able to really make any more of these after this unless you completely undo your little political message from the third one, because your whole thing was like, well, no, like, now everybody's a good guy, now everybody's cool, because, you know, really bad guys are just people who were screwed over by the good guys in the first place. That's the entire little meta message they threw out in this cobbled together mess. The best part, though, of the third Descendants was when you find out Hades is the father of Maleficent's daughter. You find out that Hades is her father, so she's technically a demigod, which I think is a cool aspect that they should have played up, but of course they didn't, because it's Disney and they didn't think about it. But the fact that yeah, like, they had this little moment where they're singing together, and it's this song where she's basically like calling him out for being a deadbeat dad because he abandoned her when she was a baby, and he's just sitting there like making fun of her while she's doing this, like, heart, you know, like, you were never around, blah blah blah, and he's just like, you know, like, oh, boo-hoo, poor you, you know, like, it was so over the top and hilarious for me. But But see, that's the thing, is like, with something like Disney's Descendants, I got into the concept of it. I thought that was a cool idea to play around with. The concept of like all the Disney heroes and villains being in this shared universe, and the idea that, like, you know, they're all having kids, and the kids kind of, you know, they kind of have to deal with a lot of the fallout from what their parents did, but also they make their own decisions, and like things kind of change up. And I liked how in the third one especially, they played with the concept of like, okay, like some villains' kids could be heroes, some heroes' kids could become villains, you know, like that was it was a fun little idea, and it was a good idea for kids. Like, that's the thing, Disney, they do well when it comes to like coming up with the initial idea. Like, it's a really fun concept, but then the execution is just so, like, you know, it's so plastic and so fake. It's all flash, no content, or like very little content. It's simplistic, it's one-dimensional, it's kind of pitiful. So, you know, all in all, yeah, like, you know, if that storyline ever like was able to become public domain, or if like Disney ever dislodges the stick, you know, that's something like I'd love to get a crack at writing something like that, like a Descendants kind of deal. Because I mean, you know, there were a lot of awesome aspects to the productions. The choreography and the dancing and the singing was the best part, I mean, of all of it. There were a lot of memorable songs. I like some of the music from it, and it's embarrassing because I'm a 30-year-old man. But yeah, you know. So, I think that's going to cover it for today. I'm not going to stick to Disney for too long. I just wanted to talk a little bit more about Disney, just because, like, they've been really prevalent in the media lately, making these power plays, and I feel like the products that they're offering don't quite back it up enough, I guess. But anyway, Outlaw Nights is going to be coming to Indiegogo on September 24th. Be sure to sign up for our email page, which is going to be in the description below. It's going to be an awesome, awesome comic book. I am so excited about it. And I honestly, like, you know, I'm getting impatient wanting to launch the campaign, because it's like, I want to see this thing done. I want to see it, and I want to hold it. And more importantly, I want you guys to have it, and I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you like. I want to know what you don't like, because that's the only way I can really grow as a writer, is to learn what my audience wants. So, thank you so much for joining me again, guys. I will be back with another video tomorrow.